That being said, um, I grew up in a modern Orthodox Jewish community where Yiddish, it wasn't even, perhaps a generation or two generations earlier, it might have been viewed with scorn or, I don't know, derision. Um, but among kids that I grew up with, most people didn't know what Yiddish was. Some of them might have had grandparents who spoke Yiddish, but it wasn't. It was at this point. I mean, it's crazy to think, but it was already so foreign to most of these kids. They didn't even know what Yiddish was. Yiddish may have come up on Holocaust Remembrance Day, but I mean those ceremonies at school certainly, and I think this probably happened from 1967 and on. The modern Orthodox community and in general the Jewish community in America became very much Hebraist, not necessarily in the strict ideological way, but certainly in terms of what languages were valued and taught. When I remember in elementary school, we read things in Ivrit class, in Hebrew class. I don't know if you're familiar at all with Yiddish literature, but there's a well-known short story by Yidlam and Peretz called Didraim Atonis, The Three Gifts. It's really gory, um, bloody story, but we learned it in Hebrew class as Shalosh Matanot, the three presents. And I didn't know this at the time. And they never told us that this was actually Yiddish literature, right? Like when you read Dostoevsky in English class, they don't say this is English literature. This is Russian literature. So the only reason I say that is because there were some what felt like insidious, but probably were just ignorant scenarios where it felt like Yiddish was being actively erased. And then, of course, over time, every once in a while, I would run into somebody my age or people older than that who would sort of say, Yiddish? Like, that's ridiculous. Yiddish is dead, sheep to the slaughter. And we were raised, I think, also with a very sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not proactive, but like a feeling of being on the defensive about Yiddish, which I think I inherited from my parents and my grandparents when people were actively attacking Yiddish. And so like I often, people today just don't necessarily have that feeling of derision towards Yiddish.